Hi Taurus, welcome to an early May pep talk. You're the first sign I'm doing this for. So this is kind of an experiment. And what I'm going to be doing is pulling three tarot cards for early May of 2019, obviously. And then I'm going to be picking an oracle card, and what I'm going to be doing is just looking at these cards not in terms of anything other than how they can inspire you, because in other spreads that I've done I talk about past influences and future influences, and I'm just going to pick these cards and look at them for themselves and for no other position than how they can relate to you in this moment. And I'm going to see what happens. So it should be interesting. So I'm going to pick the first three cards. That's your card. That's the first one I'm picking from the top of each pile right here. Oh my gosh. I got the I got the Empress and the Hierophant, and both are associated with your sign. So there you go. I was going to, I wasn't sure if I was going to pick the cards before I, pressed record or not, but that's very cool. I'm glad I did it on camera. Now this is from the Native Spirit deck. I'm going to show you the back of this card, and I'm going to pick a card from this. I'm just shuffling. And we'll see what I get here. Okay, and this one I'll be reading from the booklet to see what it says. So, the first card I have is the Empress, and you are associated with this card. This is the feminine principle. And for Taurus, you can see the symbol for Venus. This is about embracing the feminine. If you are a woman and you're thinking about whether or not you want children, it might be giving you the green light, or whether or not you want to be a mother. If you are anyone who is creative, it might be saying go for it and pick up that paintbrush, or pick up that pen if you're a writer, and go back and do that. Your ruler Venus is very much associated with artistic pursuits and beauty, and so maybe you've kind of gotten a little bit off track for some reason. Maybe you've been working very hard and you have been neglecting your romantic relationship, and this is definitely a romantic card. In addition to being a card of fertility, it's a card of just love itself, maybe embracing love and sensuality. So maybe that has been missing from your life, but not just sensuality in relationships, but all forms of appreciating the finer things in life, and kind of the senses, kind of engaging the senses. And usually Taurus is a sign that doesn't have any problem in this area. So that's why I was saying it was kind of funny that I picked this card, because this is the kind of thing that most of you have got down pat. But maybe it's not so much romance. Maybe it's the creative side of life. And this is also, to me, about taking time to stop and smell the roses and being more leisurely, which is kind of funny because Taurus sometimes gets accused of being lazy because of that ability to take it easy. And I like that expression. I've always liked that expression. I have Taurus rising. Take it easy. You don't have to rush, or you don't have to just stress yourself out. but perhaps there's been something in your life that has made you not follow that motto. And for Taurus, this can sometimes be connected to the pursuit of making money, because you are the ruler of the second house of earned income. So could it be that you have allowed yourself to get into some sort of a trap where you are working, you might be making more money, but you have to work longer hours, so you have less time to just chill and just enjoy. And being able to chill isn't just about, oh, I have the day off or something like that. If you're working, people who are working like 60 hours a week, I don't know how they can really chill if they only have one day off a week. That would be like really hard for me. Well, impossible is probably more like it. So balancing the desire for the good things in life with having enough time, which is not, time is a commodity like anything else. And they have this thing called time poverty, where you might have a nice big fat bank account, but you have a lack of time to yourself, let alone for other people, but for yourself. So that card is, so the Empress is kind of like a well-rounded card when it comes to enjoyment. And actually, the Empress is number 3 in the major arcana. We are in a universal year 3 in numerology, and so the same theme is connected: creativity, abundance, and that sense of joy is associated with the number 3 as well. And in order to have that, we have to have balance in our life, and not pursuing the material so much that we can't just enjoy the fruits of our labor. That's a key too. So we have that card, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the other side here, because this is the other Taurus card of the major arcana. Now, I always say that I think this should be Sagittarius. I just keep saying this because it has a religious connotation, this card. So the Hierophant is number 5, and this connects to tradition. And so with the Empress, this is a card of marriage. So taking that love and putting it within a traditional context. And if you talk about sensuality, it's also about taking your physical attraction, and they have that saying, make her an honest woman. Well, make him an honest man, and have a sense of responsibility within the enjoyment of the pleasures of the flesh. You know what I mean? And this is not me telling you this. I'm saying in connection with the Empress that this could be about having a sense of, I'm going to enjoy this relationship, but I want to be responsible, and I also want to start a family. So in order to do this, I have to follow this tradition, and I want to be married. I don't want to just play it by ear and do it. I want to follow what has been done before. It's a tradition that has worked. And the other thing about this card too is about balancing pleasure with the spiritual, because one is physical and one is non-physical. And for Taurus, the the arrow is going to always go towards the Empress, because you are an earth sign. So that is what you know. And so if you can't see something, or you can't taste it or smell it or touch it or hear it, you might question its existence and maybe think, hey, I don't know if this thing is really all that it's cracked up to be. Maybe it's just hype. Maybe it's not really what they say it is. And so the Hierophant is about higher thought and higher ideals. You know, the Empress is about accepting that we are in the world and not trying to deny that. You know, I don't know if Buddha, you know, sometimes Buddha's birthday is celebrated on May 8th. And lately I haven't seen on calendars them do that, but I was thinking to myself, oh, so that makes Buddha a Taurus, and that would be perfect because Buddha was born into wealth and wasn't happy with that because he realized there was more to life than that. And so he eventually had to go the middle way because it was like just starving wasn't the answer to get to enlightenment. And he had already experienced the riches and the pleasures of the flesh. So he realized that it had to be a balanced approach. And this is kind of what I'm getting at, because sometimes when people are on a spiritual path, they totally deny what the Empress represents. And one of the things I learned about from Law of Attraction and Esther Hicks and Abraham Hicks, is that we are here. You know, we are here in the material world. And I always thought, oh, the material world, it's such a bad, this is like, almost like it was a punishment, you know. You weren't spiritual enough in your last incarnation, so you had to come back here, like it's a bad thing. And now I see it totally differently. And so it's all about perception, how you perceive your reality. And the Empress is certainly where we're at. I mean, the world is where we are. We came here to experience life on this level, but we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And so the Hierophant is always remembering that spiritual part of us that doesn't die when the body dies. And so it can actually be, there can actually be a wonderful marriage, you know, pardon the pun, I was talking about physical marriage, but there can be this marriage between your material nature and your divine nature. And then I got this guy, and now this is very aligned with you too, because we have pentacles. And that's Earth, okay? And Page, this is like the beginning of something, the birth of something. And in just a day from when I'm recording this, we have the new moon in your sign. And so this is your new moon, Taurus. This is a chance for you to envision the next 12 months, what you want in this early part of May. So, you know, the thing about Pentacles is all about being tangible, you know, keeping everything very visible and able to, you know, gauge. And so, given the fact that this is the new moon in Taurus, the goals that you set right now, and that all of us really, can be things that we can really see the progress in. So whether it has something to do with your physical self, or whether it has to do with career objectives or material resources, you can set your intentions and feel like there is a connection to the spirit, to the holy, even in achieving these material objectives. And it's funny because I was going to use a different oracle deck, And it's perfect that I'm using this Native Spirit deck because that's an earthy kind of a connection. You know, the Native Americans and their relationship to the earth is, you know, well known. And the card I drew said Spirit Keeper of the East, and I'm going to read from the booklet since I have no idea what that represents. Oh, I guess they have one from the north, I guess from all directions. Okay, it says, oh wow, new beginnings. Hello. New moon, anyone? A fresh cycle is occurring in your life. Wow. Wipe the slate clean. It's now time to release the old and start again. No matter what has happened in the past, it doesn't need to repeat in the future. In Native traditions, the directions are honored. It's believed that every direction has an associated spirit that can be called upon. In the great cycle of life, the east is the place of the rising sun. It's also associated with planting seeds in the springtime. Is that Taurus? Is that the Taurus new moon or what? At least in the northern hemisphere, where the Native Americans from, you know, the North Americans. Birth, the waxing moon, and new beginnings. Pulling this card means that this is the close of one cycle and the beginning of another. And I'm recording this first type of reading the day before the new moon, so the closing of one cycle. Although it's often difficult to release familiar routines, situations, or relationships when they no longer empower you, your native spirit asks that you not cling to the old, but set sail into new waters. Face your fear and allow yourself to stretch in a new direction. Wonderful opportunities will be born in your life, and they give you a little bit of instruction. They say, stand and be still, breathe and center yourself, then slowly turn in a circle. Close your eyes and feel the energy of each direction. There's a difference in the feeling in each direction. Stand facing east as the sun rises to sense the unique energy of that direction. It's funny, I've participated in, you know, shaman rituals where they throw the water or whatever in the different directions and stuff, but I didn't know that there was a special meaning or energy for each direction, so that was new to me. So anyway, Taurus, boy, this was fun, and I hope that you got something positive out of this. I have been meaning to offer this type of reading on a personal basis for anybody who is interested. I have an introductory offer, and you can check it out below this video. And I wish you a great birthday month. Take care. Bye.